Happy birthday to you.
Now, back to Gavilan on TNT.
Nowhere in my research does it state
What I'm talking about will not be found in a research manual.
What is your source, Mr. Gavilan? A Ouija board?
Common sense, Professor? You've heard of common sense?
If you haven't even done the research, what suddenly makes you an expert?
I'm not an expert. I didn't claim to be an expert. I have a hunch.
Scholars do not have hunches.
It's not a scholarly hunch. It's just a hunch.
Forgive me, is this the departure of an expedition or the preliminary bout at the Olympics?
More like the final round.
Marion, I'm trying to dissuade Gavilan from his preposterous notion.
Which one? He has several.
I love it when you back me up.
He has a hunch about the gold aboard the wreck of the King Midas.
Well, now, just a minute. Why don't we start at the beginning?
All right. In 1921, the King Midas left Amsterdam heading for the Nether Antilles. Now, we are agreed on that.
We are.
Its manifests show that they were carrying gold coins.
No argument there.
The ship sank in a storm off Paradise Bay, and so far, no salvage operation has been able to turn up the gold.
So, what is the argument?
My research leads me to believe that the gold was hidden in a secret compartment, somewhere right in the forward hold.
I think that during the storm, they moved the gold and used it for ballast.
Fine. Well, let's try Professor first. If we don't find anything, then we try yours.
We can't. It's almost hurricane season. We're running out of time. It's got to be one or the other.
All right, then. Consider this. I did the research. I convinced the Metacron Corporation to finance the expedition. I employed the manpower and the resources of the DeWitt Institute.
I've got an idea. Why don't we try it your way?
That's the first sensible thing I've heard out of your mouth.
Kind of prickly, isn't she?
You tend to bring that out in most people. Or hadn't you noticed?
By the time we get back, she'll think I'm Henry Kissinger.
That I want to see.
Bon voyage, old man.
Oh, Milo.
That's for drinking, not christening.
Didn't I order a case of this from the store?
Oh, yes, it arrived just as I was leaving. Oh, don't worry, I'll look after it for you.
I'm sure you will.
That lovely lady, who is she?
Dr. Catherine Maitland. Geologist, paleontologist, archaeologist, and beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Is she the head of this expedition?
Yes, she is. Just ask her.
Dr. Maitland, let me give you a hand.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Thank you.
Really beautiful, isn't it?
We're not on a nature hike, Gavilan.
You're a doctor. You keep that nose of yours buried in a book. You're gonna miss a lot of the world passing you by.
Oh, it's the old stop and smell the flowers routine, huh? Can we get down to business?
Sure. Henry Kissinger.
Excuse me?
Nothing. You need some help?
No. No, I'm fine.
Good. Coming, Doctor?
I'm fine.
Right. Let's take a look at our latest acquisitions. You should have no trouble in moving them. Ah, yes, the diamond brooch.
It's gorgeous.
Now, Angelo, I expect a proper return on this batch.
As always, I do the best that I can.
Yes, I'm sure you do, my friend. For your sake. The map, please, Spade. Right. Now, you mentioned something about a group of Americans in the Caribbean.
That's right, Captain. They camped in the lagoon near the hotel that was destroyed by the hurricane.
Yes, doing what?
They're exploring the wreck of the King Midas.
Now, Angelo, you and I know that that ship has been gone through by the salvages and it's empty.
And obviously, the Americans think otherwise.
And you think they may be right.
At the very least, their equipment has some value.
Well, let's set course for Paradise Bay, then.
When we get inside, Doctor, let's take it nice and easy.
Don't worry, Gavilan. I can handle myself.
Current's pretty rough down here. Wouldn't take too much to rock this old boat. Here we go.
You're starting here? Salvagers have been through this section 1,000 times.
Welcome to 1001.
Time is air, Gavilan. We're wasting both. On a hunch.
This looks like the cargo hold.
We can come back to it later.
Hey, as long as we're here, why not have a look?
Gavilan.
Come here. Look at this. Here, take a look.
The gold.
Unbelievable. There's even too much to take up on this trip.
We better surface. We're getting low on air. We'll come back tomorrow and start.
Look out!
Robert, I'm pinned. I can't clutch it.
Hang on. Don't try to move. We'll get you right out. You better make this quick. Let's get out of here. The whole place is caving in.
That's a little closer than I usually like to cut it.
Yeah, did you get the coins?
Coins? Yeah, I got the coins.
Great.
She's worried about the coins.
Perhaps I should hide these in the lagoon.
Who would steal it?
They are good people. But the gold, it is very valuable. And they are only human. I would rather they not have the temptation.
Whatever makes you happy.
3 years of research down the drain.
Well, not exactly. We did find the gold.
But we can't get at it. We need more men and equipment. And that means more funding. Now, I don't know if Metacron's going to come up with any more money.
Why not? Now we're sure the gold is there.
And how do I prove it? I mean, all I have is a handful of gold coins.
A handful of gold? You know, that's not bad for starters. And I'll back you up.
Sure you will. Along with taking credit for figuring out where it was.
Are you mad because we lost the gold or because of where we found it?
I have spent 3 years with my nose buried in books and charts, and you stumble on it out of blind luck.
Want some fruit cocktail?
No, I do not.
You a sailor, Doctor? Ever been on a big sailboat before? When I was 18, I crewed my first Transpac race, L.A. to Hawaii. About the third day out, we had 50-knot winds, 25-foot waves, lost our mast, took a knockdown. We were in trouble. You know what my crewmates and I did to pull through?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Well, I'm going to tell you. We improvised. We made it up as we went along.
It's no way to live.
It's a great way to survive.
Surviving isn't enough, Gavilan. There has to be order. Some sort of logical procedure.
Maybe. But you see, somebody else had to make up that procedure. They were just doing things their way. I like to make up things as I go along. My way. Want a cherry? I never eat the cherries.
Maybe I will. We almost ran out of time down there, didn't we? How do you thank someone for saving your life?
Leave me the grapes. Kill you?
Water skiing? I thought we were all alone here.
Pretty strange place for an aquacade.
What an unexpected pleasure. Here we were thinking we had the island all to ourselves. What fun.
Well, what can we do for you?
Well, as a matter of fact, you can help us dive into this bottle of bubbly.
Bubbly?
Oh, I'm sorry. We're on an airtight schedule.
Well, there's always time for a little spot of bubbly, don't you think?
Well, we hate to be impolite, but maybe some other time.
Oh, I doubt that. No, I doubt that. I really do. Hey, you! Yeah! Find them. Bring them back. Hey! My friend, most unwise. You came this close to dying.
You can't do this to us. We're scientists.
Oh, yes, we can. We're pirates. And?
Those tents for rentals.
Now let's have a little chat about gold.
bet they do.
And now, back to Gavilan on TNT.
I'm sorry, my dear, but I do not believe your story.
It's the truth. The gold can't be saved.
So you say. But I have a sneaking suspicion that once I leave, you and Mr. Gavilan here will devise some brilliant way of bringing it up.
There's no way. Not with the equipment we have. Had.
My dear, you must think of me as that man on the television commercial. You can tell me now, or you can tell me later. But you're going to tell me.
Okay. You win. We can bring it up.
Ah, how refreshing it is to hear the truth!
But it is hard to get at. And we can only bring up a little at a time.
So that our friends don't get any ideas about swimming away, empty their air tanks, leave them a 10-minute supply.
Question, what happens after we bring up the gold?
Well, we'll reevaluate the situation then.
How do you plan on bringing up the gold? Improvisation?
I'm thinking. Here, take my tank, and I want you to play with the regulator. Make it look like two divers.
Okay.
About 1 minute.
Will you look at that? Congratulations, Mr. Gavilan.
Well, we can bring up more in the morning.
So you shall. And as long as you do, you and your friends will remain alive. Angelo will be coming ashore to assess our good fortune. We'll set up a proper dinner in front of the hotel. Cocktails at 6, dinner at 7. Dress cold. Casual.
Casual. Do you have anything casual left?
Tidy salvage work today, Mr. Gavilan.
I was well motivated.
You have valuable skills. I look forward to the day when I will share them with you. How much longer before the gold is brought up?
A week, maybe 2.
Why so long?
Considering it may be the rest of my life, I'm not exactly in a big hurry.
Oh, Mr. Gavilan, you and I must understand each other. We are partners. A man does not dispose of his partner as long as they play straight with each other. Right, Angelo?
True words were never spoken, Captain.
Now, Angelo and I are a perfect example. We've been together now for, 3 years?
He looks very prosperous.
Yes, he is. Much more so than I. You were 50,000 short on your last transaction, Angelo. No, relax, Mr. Gavilan. He was suffering from a nagging illness.
Seems to have caught up with him.
Trust, Mr. Gavilan. We must base our relationship on trust.
It's fine by me. Always been a trusting man by nature.
My apologies for the accommodations, Mr. Gavilan. Unfortunately, all the berths on my yacht have been taken.
Oh, no problem. This is perfect.
I'm sure we could find one bunk on the yacht for you, Professor.
Thanks all the same.
Should you get a wanderlust in the night, let me advise you that my men will be outside.
Oh, no, I plan on sleeping like a log.
They will look in from time to time just to make sure that you're comfortable.
Not exactly the honeymoon suite.
But there's no room service either.
Well, you'd be surprised. Try ringing if you want anything.
Are you sure you won't change your mind, Professor?
The Count of Monte Cristo.
What do you want?
I thought we could discuss Skinnerian research methods. Would you open the door? Found out this place is not on the American plan. So we're checking out.
What's this?
It's a screwdriver. I want to get the grate off. Come on, up on my shoulders.
Where's this lead?
Hopefully the roof.
And from there?
It's back to improvising.
Listen, can we talk about this logically for a minute?
If you think I'm qualified.
Well, it's dark out there, and we don't know where we're going. I really hate to end up in quicksand.
Well, it's hard to argue with that kind of logic.
Aren't we better off waiting until the odds are in our favor?
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, there's snakes out there, and the sharks eat at night, and those guys have guns, and...
Then when you're right, you're right.
Okay, wait. Here we go.
But we will need some gold to show Morgan in the morning. All right. Oh. I think I know where I can get it.
Off his yacht.
Off the yacht.
The gold you brought up before.
Exactly. And while I'm at it, maybe I can send an SOS by radio.
What about the guards?
Guards. We'll make some noise while I'm gone so they think I'm in here with you.
What kind of noises?
Why, Doctor, what kind of noise do you think you and I would make together?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Work on it. I'm sure you'll think of something.
it. Robert, really, we shouldn't. No, really, I couldn't. Shh. Somebody will hear us. Let's walk. You haven't stopped looking at her since we got here.
She's attractive, Faye, most attractive.
Oh, come off it. She doesn't compare to me.
I agree with you. She has intelligence in her eyes.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Robert Gavilan calling. Paradise Bay Expedition. Mayday, Mayday, this is Robert.
What are you trying to pull?
My darling Faye, every relationship has its fatigue factor, and we're reaching ours.
Meaning what?
Meaning, my dear, that I am tiring of you. And these little temper tantrums only serve to accelerate the process. The damned operator left the transmitter on.
Do that again.
Hey, what's going on?
Listen to this.
Oh, my goodness. Where did you learn that? Oh, Robert, my dear, my dear. Oh. Yeah.
Well, there wasn't anything good on television. We're not breaking any rules, are we?
Not by me. But Captain Morgan might have other ideas.
Yeah. Well, he'll have to take that up with the lady.
Tell him not to bother.
Yeah. Tell him not to bother. Oh, would you mind closing the door on your way out? You faked that pretty well, Doctor.
Who was faking?
I'm in more trouble than I thought.
resourceful, Mr. Gavilan, a quality to be admired.
What's on your mind, Morgan?
I would have thought you would have been a little more gracious in accepting praise.
Well, armed guards have a tendency to ruin my manners.
One word from you and they would not be necessary. One word, please.
You first.
Cheers. Mr. Gavilan, I will be greatly honored to have you as my lieutenant.
What about Cutter?
Cutter, well, he's loyal, but dull, lacks style. It's a good living, Mr. Gavilan, but a better life.
Being a pirate? Never struck me as being much of a life.
Well, think about it, Mr. Gavilan. In your case, there are other incentives?
You don't need to remind me.
Good. Oh, there is one other thing, Mr. Gavilan. There was a report on the radio last night that a storm was coming this way. Now, I want to be off before it hits.
Well, don't stay on my account.
The gold is coming up far too slowly. So tomorrow I will send some of my men down there with you to help you with the salvage. I do hope you decide to join the legend, Mr. Gavilan. You would make a far better ally than corpse.
What was that little tete-a-tete about?
Well, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is Morgan wants me to throw in with him. Become a pirate.
That's the good news? I can't wait to hear the bad.
The bad news is he wants some of his men to die with me tomorrow. My dear Professor, it's time we made something happen. Okay, what about this? Tonight, after I switch the gold, I take one of our air tanks and I bury it underneath the cooking pit.
I don't follow.
Well, the heat makes the air expand, it builds up pressure, has no place to go, so it explodes. Create a little diversion. I saw it in a movie once. Some fun, huh?
Oh, Roberto, can you do that again? Oh, that's super. Oh, where did you learn this? Oh, my goodness. Oh.
Well, this guy dives all day and plays all night.
I'd like to know what he puts in his air tank.
Beats me. And when it blows, we head to the jungle.
What about the water? Try and make it to the yacht.
That bozo with the bazooka could blow us out of the water before we got 100 yards. I'll take my chances in the jungle. Gavilan!
Good luck.
I'm very disappointed in you.
I thought you admired my resourcefulness. Man!
I'm afraid we will have to terminate our working relationship.
Like you did with Angelo?
Oh, you're a stylish man, Mr. Gavilan. You deserve a more stylish finale.
Prepare the firing squad.
Happy birthday to you.
And now, back to Gavilan on TNT.
Any last words?
I thought you said this was going to work.
I never said I thought this would work.
Last words. Yeah, look, I've reconsidered. I'd like to take you up on your offer.
Well, it's a little late for that.
Why? I mean, you would have done the same thing if you were in my shoes.
Yes, but I...
It worked.
After them!
Make a white circle back to the hotel and hide. They won't be looking for you there, all right?
What about you? That's not going to be much help against rifles.
Depends on how you use it. Go on.
Spread out. Come on. Movement of mass is related to the placement of the fulcrum at the vortex of the... This might work.
I really didn't think that was going to work. You hang in there.
I made these myself.
What is this?
See you, boys.
Fair play is not part of the pirate code. Here we go, Mr. Swashbuckler.
Disreputable being a pirate, isn't it?
I'm slipping.
Isn't it?
Yes! Yes!
Just wanted to hear you say it.
Catherine! Catherine!
Very good. How did you manage?
Well, Professor, I did the logical thing. I improvised.
Welcome
ashore.
At least you got back safely.
Can you imagine? Pirates.
Pirates?
Yes, and we got them on 50 counts.
What about the gold?
Well, like the LA Rams, we'll just have to wait till next year.
I sense that the relationship between the two of you is somewhat developed.
Yes. And may I ask how this improbable feat was achieved?
Improvisation.
I hope some of your thinking has rubbed off on Robert.
Well, we're certainly going to give it a chance, hey, Doctor? I mean, it's the only logical thing to do.
You bet.
Milo, is there any more of that champagne left?
Since you ask, I don't think we have. A few of my friends dropped by. I didn't touch a drop myself. Well, naturally, it was your champagne.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Robert Urich from your friends at TNT.